Welcome back to Van Life 365, where we bring you along our travels from Yellowstone to Grand Tetons. I'm Kayla.
I'm Zach.
Let's get into it.
So before we got to Yellowstone, we were coming in from the east side. So there's this little town called Cody, and apparently it's very popular for rodeos.
Yeah.
Which we did not get to go to because we didn't have time. We didn't want to make time, I guess, because we really enjoyed what we were doing.
Yeah.
But we found this free camping spot that had a beautiful view of the mountains.
Yeah. And the sunsets were gorgeous.
And the sunrise. It was like a 360. Like we had a good sunrise and sunset. So we loved it there. So we stayed there for like 5 days.
Yeah. We saw a tumbleweed and a little baby lizard.
It was crazy. The tumbleweed was so cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, I haven't either. The baby lizard also was like an inch long. It was so cute. And it was like a bearded dragon.
Maybe it was Larry's spirit moving on. We stayed there for 5 days. There was a Walmart, so we parked there. Then, like, while going to... It was like a 10-20 minute difference from where we were parked to Yellowstone.
Just a little closer to Yellowstone.
Yeah, so we went shopping at Walmart, and then we parked at Walmart for the night with like 50 other campers.
Yeah,
it was popping.
There were a lot.
So we parked there, and then we made our way into Yellowstone the following morning, very, very early. We left at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, at sunrise.
Yeah, and we got there at 7:30 a.m. So we were like an hour and a half from the first place. Well, we got there like at 7. Yeah. But it was 30 minutes to the first destination we wanted to visit in Yellowstone, which was Sylvan Lake. And this is the second Sylvan Lake we've been on our trip.
The first one was in South Dakota in Custer State Park, and that one was beautiful.
That one was a lot better.
Yeah, this one was just like some water with trees surrounding it. But it was really pretty because we were the only ones there. And when we got there, there was a layer of fog over the water, and then the reflection of the trees on the water was like gorgeous.
Yeah, it was like 40 degrees out.
Yeah.
And I took for a walk.
Yep.
And we walked around the waterfront, which was really cute. She loved
adorable.
it. And we also had blueberry pancakes.
Yeah, and coffee.
And coffee. Yep. And our like a little breakfast next to the water, which was really nice. It did prepare us. It was kind of a nice break for what we were going into after that.
Yeah, it was kind of not chaotic, but we were very busy, I guess. After Sylvan Lake, we went to a place called Dragonmouth Spring. Was this part of the mud volcano?
Yeah, we kind of just started following the one road there is, because we had like certain areas we wanted to go. And the loop's like 142 miles around. So we started going...
Two?
No, it's not 2. You keep thinking it's 200.
I know.
It's 200 if you include like doing the small loop and then the big loop.
Roads too?
The big loop and small loop. There's 2 loops. But basically, we started continuing down that road. We stopped at some vents because that was the first like steam in the air that we saw.
Yeah.
And... we stopped there. That was pretty cool. And then we kept driving, and we got to Mud Volcano, which was our second location of Yellowstone.
Yeah, and that was cool.
That was cool.
It was basically like a little hole in a wall of a natural...
That was Dragon.
They're both the same, right?
No. Dragon Mouth is different than Mud.
Oh.
They were in the same area. There's a lot of like...
There were a lot of little like steam vents and...
springs.
Yeah.
But the Dragon one was cool because it was like, it would push water out, and the water was like, it wasn't dark like the other one.
Yeah.
It was like water, and it would like be pushing out steam and waves, which was really cool. It was very loud.
Yeah. But all you could see is like a little divot in the like mountain
a cave.
It was on. Yeah. And there was water like just going back and forth. But it was like very powerful.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we walked like 2 minutes, and we got to the Mud Volcano. It was like on this wooden path.
Yeah.
And we walked to the Mud Volcano, and that was cool too because it was like the same thing, but the water was like clay color, like really dark like gray.
Thicker too.
Very thick.
Like muddy.
Like mud.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went there, and it was pretty cool. That was a good like introduction to the park.
Yeah.
To like what we got into.
Yeah, that was very like a very tame beginning.
Yes. And then we continued down the one road.
Yep. And we got to the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone.
At 9 o'clock. So you have to put in perspective. We got to Sylvan Lake at 7:30 and it's already 9 and we're only on our third thing of the day. There's a lot of driving in between, like 30 to 45 minutes per. So get ready for a drive if you go to Yellowstone. But then we get to the Grand Canyon.
And it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. There was multiple ways to get on it, to like view it. We went on the, I think, southmost side viewing area.
I don't remember.
There's two. There's a north and south way you can view. We viewed it from the south side. We were gonna go to the north, but we're like, it's probably gonna look the same.
So we went to 2 different lookout points of the Grand Canyon waterfall. One was closer of just the waterfall, basically, for the view.
With more people.
Yeah, there were quite a few people. And then the second one was further away, but you could see like the whole canyon area. And that one was also very busy. It was one of those situations where you go up and you like go to the spot where the picture gets taken, take maybe like 2 or 3, you have 10 seconds and then need to get out of there for another person to go in.
Yeah.
It was very like rushed.
Yeah, I took a couple of videos of how busy Yellowstone was, and if you want to see that, go to our Instagram.
Yeah.
Because it's freaking busy, and this is the off season because it was like late August.
Yeah.
And all the families are going home or are home for school, getting ready for school. So yeah, it was freaking crazy. We did that. That was fun.
I recommend going to that, like the Grand Canyon waterfall, in the morning, like earlier than 9, so that you can just like watch it and be it peaceful, like with a cup of coffee, because you don't have to really walk. It's like pretty flat and just like a straight walk right to it. But yeah, we could not really admire it and like just look at it in peace because there were so many people.
We'll do Yellowstone tips at the end.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
After Yellowstone, we started driving to our next one. We ran into a couple things on the way and we're like, why not stop? You know, we're at Yellowstone, why not stop? So we stopped at, what are those called?
The Teddy Roosevelt Towers.
Oh yeah, we stopped at the towers, which was just basically rocks.
Yeah, like shooting out from a stream, kind of.
No, it's just a rock that was on top of a little hill that was surrounded the hill, and then it was water around the hill, and then it was big like stalagmite, one of those, just randomly, and it was a couple of those. Maybe we missed some things, maybe we didn't see them all.
I don't know.
It wasn't that crazy to us.
No, it was just like rock, I don't know, sticks.
Stalagmites or stalactites, that's the name for it.
I thought a stalagmite was a type of mineral.
No.
Okay. But then there was also a tiny waterfall next to them.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get the towers on camera either, so we don't even have like a way to reference it.
Yeah. We went to that, and then there was like this little calcite steam vents. Yeah. And it was just basically a side of a mountain or side of a hill that went towards a river.
The river like went like that.
It was like a snaky
zigzag.
river. Yeah. And there was like steam vents coming out of the side of the mountain. That's what the thing was about. Yeah. But the river was so blue.
It was gorgeous.
We like the river a lot more than what they were trying to advertise us to look at.
Yeah. And I'd recommend going to that outlook rather than going to the Teddy Roosevelt area.
Yes.
Because that area is pretty busy.
And it's only a couple minutes down the road past the Teddy Roosevelt Towers.
And you can see some of the towers from that outlook, so it's not really worth going unless you want to see a tiny waterfall. But if you saw the Yellowstone waterfall, you don't need to see that one. Just pick and choose what you do, or just go do it all like we did.
Yeah. Or we didn't do it all, but we did a good amount.
We did almost all.
Yeah, we were in the park for what, 30 hours?
Something
in 2
like
days?
that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Then we went to the long trek to Lamar Valley, which is off the loop. Yes. So we had to it's like a road, you're going towards the northeast entrance to Yellowstone. And we went there, and there was construction, which had us parked, not moving for 30 minutes. So that was fun. Probably took us like an hour and a half to get there.
And it wasn't very far.
No, it should have been like 30, 40 minutes. The construction was so bad. But we got to Lamar Valley, and if you like bison,
you would love it.
You would love this place.
Yeah.
You would love it. There's a lot of bison. But since we saw bison at Custer State Park, I don't know, some state parks are better than the national parks.
Yeah. Like, Custer was like chill, and the bison, some of them were right outside of our door.
Even going into Custer, we ran into like a herd of deer.
Yeah.
Like just walking on the road, going next to people biking.
Yeah.
And then we ran into like 3 other wildlife.
Yeah.
Like boom, boom, boom.
There was a lot more at Custer that we saw.
But Lamar Valley, we went there for wildlife, and apparently you could see bear, like coyotes. Wolves are rare just because they're night, they're more nocturnal. But the thing is, we also think we might have not like gotten the whole experience. I think we might have not gotten the whole experience because once again, it is later in the year.
Yeah.
Which means the bears could be getting ready for, hibernation. They could be getting ready to go to, sleep, just eating a lot.
Yeah. We also went at it was probably almost noon by that point.
It was noon, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe early in the morning or towards night they would have been out.
Yeah, I think it was just such a rare chance.
Yeah. All we saw were a ton of herds of bison, and that's it.
Yeah. We saw a lot of bison there, but we didn't preferably love Lamar Valley.
No.
I think it was a mix between how long it took to get there, and then how underwhelming it was when we got there.
Yeah, especially because a lot of people hyped it up.
And a lot of people hyped Yellowstone up in general.
Yeah.
So many people were like, Yellowstone's so good. I think it is really good if you don't go to national parks a lot like we do. There's some underrated national parks, but we won't get into that today. But then after Lamar Valley, we went up towards the north entrance, and we went to Mammoth Springs, which is the only place in the national park that has Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's true.
And we didn't even use it.
No.
We didn't know about it until we were down all the way to the south entrance.
But Mammoth Springs was one of our favorite parts. It was so underrated.
I really like the basin.
I think Mammoth Springs is underrated though, because I only heard one person talk about it on TikTok, and I feel like everyone should be talking about it because it's so cool and you learn so much there. The things that happen on this one little mountain are crazy.
There's a lot of variety.
Yeah, there's bacteria that changes the things different colors. Some of it.
Well, the thing is, it's the bacteria that can live in hot water.
Yeah.
And since the water is super hot in the middle, where the heat's coming from, you'll see different bacteria in different areas because obviously the side of the pond is cooler.
Yeah.
Still hot, but cooler, so different bacteria can live in different areas of the spring.
Yeah, that's very cool to learn about.
And and since the water was running down the side of the white, I don't know if it was calcium or sodium,
I have no
calcite, running down that there was water, and you could see orange streaks and different color streaks of bacteria that were going down as well.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
Part of it looked like ice.
It looked like snow, yeah.
It was crazy.
It was very, very white.
But it was definitely not snow. It was very toasty. Apparently many people get burned.
A lot of people are dumb.
Yeah. People think it's a good idea to swim in there when it's definitely not a good idea because it's over boiling temperatures.
Yeah. But that was good. We like Mammoth Springs. We were actually
awesome.
Yeah. We were supposed to be done our day after Mammoth Springs.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go up to the north entrance into Montana.
Yeah.
Was it Montana? Into Montana and sleep for the night, refuel, all that stuff. But we didn't want to do that because the closest sleeping spot was 45 minutes outside of it. So, and it was 3 o'clock. We're we still have time.
Yeah.
We want to be here.
Still half the day.
Yeah, we still have a lot of the day left. So we ended up going down the other side of the loop towards Norris Geyser Basin, which is 2 little loops, Pearl, and then something else.
I think it's called Back Basin.
Back Basin and Pearl?
Yeah.
Okay. But I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
There was a lot of geysers, a lot of springs.
More of the
steam vents. It was we probably spent 2 hours walking around there.
Yeah. The first one is the more touristy one because it's advertised as being almost half the length of the back basin. So a lot of people were going around the front one, which was very cool. There were bright blue ones. But you definitely have to go on the back one as well, which a lot of people just skipped over. And we only saw a couple other people on the back trail, but there was a huge geyser. Or is it called a geyser? The big steamy one? The steamboat?
The steamboat geyser is what it was called.
Okay. That was very cool. That was the biggest amount of smoke that we saw.
Yeah, it basically looked like a wildfire. And it was just this one vent. That must be so hard in Yellowstone to is that a wildfire?
Yeah.
Or is that just a big steam vent? But yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time there. We saw a little bunny, a little baby bunny.
The whole Norris Geyser Basin area is all on a wooden path, so you're not hiking anything.
And apparently on the back basin, one of the geysers blew up
Yeah.
in like 1980 something.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that was a thing. It basically got like gummed up or something, and like it couldn't like get any of the pressure out, so it just blew up.
Yeah.
Like with all the pressure buildup, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a couple like visitors there that had like dodge rocks.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
A lot more to learn there as well.
Yeah, but there also was some vents and geysers that were tampered with by people, because if you throw rocks or anything in the vent, it can like
clog it, basically.
Clog it, yeah, and then sometimes it will recover, most of the times it won't. So there are some vents we didn't get to see, but there are some idiots that threw rocks at it in the past, and you know, trying to fix that would be very, very difficult. Like basin land, like the basin land is very fragile.
Yeah.
So there's like heat or water underneath some of them, so if you walk in certain areas, you can fall like directly through into hot water. But that was really fun, and that was like the last of our day. We started heading towards the east or the west entrance.
Yep.
To leave, and we stopped at a little pullout with a beautiful view on a field and some little steam vents in a river, and we made dinner.
We did. And we hung out there until the sun went down.
Correct.
And then we made our way. Oh, we also didn't see any wildlife there, which I was really hoping we'd see a bear.
I was hoping to see elk.
Oh, yeah. We didn't see any elk. That's crazy. But we ended up making our way out the west entrance in Montana and spent the night on the side of the highway with a bunch of other truckers.
Truck pullout. It was really nice though. It was like 10 minutes away from the entrance.
Yep, and we got to put out our slide, which was good.
Yeah. So if you want a place that's really close to the entrance of Yellowstone, go to the west side. Go right out. You're gonna see one right. Don't take that. It's your second right. Onto like a busy like touristy road, and you just keep going straight, and then it'll go into a highway area, and then there's accesses on their left and right.
Yep.
So either one is fine. But we slept there for 2 nights. We worked there for 1 day after we got there.
Yep.
And then after that work day, we spent the night, and we woke up again at 6 a.m.
Yes.
Bright and early. And we got right in the park, and that's when we saw a coyote.
Yeah.
A little coyote.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the road.
That was probably the best wildlife we've seen.
Yeah.
There.
Well,
and the bunny.
We only saw bison
And a bunny.
and
Coyote. But the coyote was really cool because I wanted to see a coyote or a wolf.
yeah.
So
A wolf would have been crazy.
yeah, those things are massive. But
And we made our way to the paint pots, which are basically little tiny springs of different colors.
like kind of like the mud springs, but different hues.
Yeah.
Like thick, muddy, but some that's like pink and all that. Not like bright pink, but
Yeah.
like, you know,
There was
plush.
some blue.
Yeah, plush colors,
Yeah.
but not really plush or dark. Anyway,
And then there was also
let's talk about how cold it was.
there was a geyser at that one,
There was a geyser.
which was very cool. But yeah, it was 40 degrees, and
It was
Zach wore
cold.
shorts. So we walked around for like probably 20 minutes there, just because we were kind of rushing because we didn't realize it was so cold.
Yeah. We also didn't know if that geyser was gonna stop. It didn't,
No, it didn't.
but we thought it was gonna stop. And like we thought we were gonna miss it.
It kept going though. It was going so fast, or so high, like way higher than I expected.
Like 6 feet.
No, it was higher than 6 feet. It was like probably 20 feet.
It was just a little walk through. It was nice, a good walk.
And all the vents and like the springs have water under them, obviously, that's boiling, so you can hear it gurgling underground, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's so cool to hear.
There's little vents, like just little holes in the ground sometimes, and you're walking and you just hear like crazy sounds, and it's because you can hear the sound of the water underneath through that one hole in the ground. But after that, we continued to the iconic Grand Prismatic Spring, and we went to the main parking lot, and we walked around this loop, and it was not worth it.
No.
Don't go.
Not at 8 a.m. for sure.
Not when it's cold.
Yeah, because since the springs are so hot and the outside was so cold, there was an insane amount of steam.
Yeah.
Like we walked through a steam cloud and my hair got wet. And I
Yeah.
couldn't see anything. I had to take off my glasses because they were so full.
Like even we couldn't even see like 4 feet in front of us.
Yeah, it was
So
crazy.
it was windy, steamy, cold. We walked over to the Prismatic Spring area, and you're like level with it.
Yeah, so you can't really see anything.
So you're level with it, and you're also like probably a good 100 feet away. So it's hard to see, even if there wasn't steam.
Yeah.
But the steam just made it like we couldn't see. So we ended up going to this, like, it was like 10 minutes down the road. We got there at like 9 a.m. and we parked and we hiked this little it's like Grand Prismatic Spring overlook.
And the Fairy Falls hike.
Hike.
On the same trail.
Yeah, so you can go to the overlook and just turn back if you want, or you can go to the overlook and keep going to Fairy Falls. But we went to the overlook and that was so much better.
Yeah, and when we got there, there were only like 5 other cars in the parking lot and only a couple people at the outlet, but you have such a good view of it and it's beautiful.
We got to the overlook, it was beautiful. Definitely prefer that rather than the one that all the tourists go to.
Yeah, if you go early,
go early.
Most of the people.
Go early. Go like at 7 a.m. You want to go early. Just go early.
Get there before 10.
Yeah.
Like you need to be hiking that trail before it hits 10 a.m.
Yeah. But we hiked that and then we went to Fairy Falls. It was like a 2-hour and 10-minute thing. Fairy Falls is beautiful.
Yes, it was so peaceful.
So many chipmunks.
So many. I think they're ground squirrels.
One tried to attack my foot.
Yeah.
I was eating my freaking peanut butter jelly sandwich, and this one really wanted it.
Yeah,
and
it was ready to climb you.
Yeah, and it was like on my foot and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gonna get attacked by a freaking squirrel. This is how I die. But
they were so cute though.
they were cute, but this one really wanted my sandwich.
Yeah.
But we took some pictures. It was really cool fall.
Yeah, and it was just us, one other couple, and there was a girl sitting like on the side, and then a guy taking pictures of squirrels.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all that were there, and it's a pretty big area.
It was good seclusion from the actual park. But then we started hiking back. We stayed there for about 10 minutes. We saw a lot of people coming in.
Yeah, the last like quarter of a mile, hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So many people just flowing into that one trail. I don't know if they're all going to Fairy Falls
They were probably,
or if they're just going to the
I think
Outlook.
most of them were going to the Outlook because a lot of them had kids.
Yeah.
And a 2-hour hike of kids. Like, they were carrying the kids.
11 o'clock and all those people were going. So definitely get there early because there were like almost no people. And the parking lot was overflowing and people were parking on both sides of the roads.
Yep. So we got there super good. Super early. We got a very good spot too.
Yeah.
But then after that, we went to Old Faithful.
Yes, which is the iconic geyser that sprays so high in the air and it's on like every postcard, every sticker, everything. That and Grand Prismatic. Yeah, Grand Prismatic Spring is on every
postcard of Yellowstone. Like if you think of Yellowstone, you think of the spring, or you think of like geysers or Old Faithful.
Yeah.
But we went to Old Faithful and there's probably around 2,000 people surrounding this waiting for it to go off. Because there's like, if it starts at 2 o'clock, they say 1:45 to 2:15 is when it can go off. Their estimated time is 2 o'clock, but there's like 15-minute windows on both sides.
Yeah.
So we got there right before, like 5 minutes before the first between the first 15-minute window.
Yep. So it was supposed to go off at 12:15. So we got there at 11:55. And we waited the whole time. And it ended up going off at exactly 12:30.
Yep.
The last minute it could is when it went off.
Yep.
So we waited a very long time. But the geyser went off for like 2 minutes. I wish it went off longer.
It was cool, but I was like, there's so many people around. And
Yeah.
I'm not a person at that scale. Like, unless I'm in a city and I expect it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like when I go to like parks or like nature, I expect to be like just us in nature. Or like, you know, but this was so many people.
Yeah, it was a lot. It went off way higher than I thought it was, and it was way better than I thought it was gonna be. So I don't think it's overrated. Like, I think it deserves its rating. Like, its hype. But I can't imagine going in like peak season, like summer, when there's even more people. I don't know if that would be worth it, because we had like basically front row views.
And we got there like 5 to 10 minutes before it started.
Yeah,
but
I can't imagine it actually being like crowded where everyone is like together, because it was pretty spaced out, because they had a long walkway around the whole thing.
And they had a trail you could hike to see it from a higher view.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But yeah, Old Faithful was pretty cool. I think it was worth it.
I think it was alright. I mean, I enjoyed the stuff where we were more alone.
Yeah.
Like the hike to Fairy Falls, I enjoyed the basin. I enjoyed that kind of stuff more.
Yeah, I think if the geyser was in a different setting, like if it wasn't as busy and you didn't have to like wait so long for a scheduled time, it was more like going off whenever.
So touristy on the south side of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
So touristy.
It was good overall.
It was fun. I mean, if you have an RV or you're traveling, make sure to get gas before you get into towns near Yellowstone. It was probably like 50 to 60 cents more when you get closer to Yellowstone. And if you're in Yellowstone, we didn't even stop to look, but I'm guessing it was like $5.
Well, I calculated it off of someone's old price and how much they got, and it was 5 something.
Yeah. So if you need gas, do not get gas before you go to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Like even if you do need gas, go outside of Yellowstone and then go like 20 minutes past or like 10 minutes past, because even
when we spent the night at that highway pull-off, we got gas for almost $1 per gallon cheaper. So it's worth the little drive extra to go get cheap gas.
Yeah.
But then we went to Grand Tetons, and that's gonna be a different podcast.
Yes, let's talk about. We were gonna go to another geyser, but that window was 75 minutes, and we weren't looking to wait 2 or 3 hours for this thing to go off.
Yeah.
So we ended up going in an RV, eating some lunch, deciding that we're done with Yellowstone. We were there for like 30 hours exploring. We definitely could have done more. Could have done more hiking.
We did everything we wanted to do.
Let's talk about tips for Yellowstone.
Okay.
So we already talked about the gas situation. Don't go towards peak season.
No.
Don't waste your time.
Stay toward the end of August. It was like perfect.
It was good. You won't see as much wildlife.
Yeah.
But if you don't care to see wildlife as much, do it. Because there wasn't that many people in all the areas, but like if you go to touristy areas, there's gonna be a lot of people.
Yeah, and it doesn't get too hot. And in the morning, like you can bundle up and then just take off your layers as the day goes on. But it doesn't get like overly hot.
That's another tip though. We went at 6 a.m. We left in the morning, and we left around 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Both days. Get there early, stay there late, so you can miss the crowds, and also just experience the park alone and try to go on hikes, because a lot of people won't go on hikes because they're families, they're tourists, they do stuff like that. That's when you really get to see the park alone as well.
Oh, bear spray tip.
Oh yeah, bear spray. So we were in Cody.
Yes.
And we walked around the basic little downtown area, and we went to this outdoor shop because we were looking around, but we saw bear spray, and we talked to someone about it, and like one of the employees. And
also, bear spray is $40 to $60.
40 to 70 depending where you are.
Yeah. For one spray.
Get it before you go in the park, because if you're in the park, it's more expensive. If you plan to be in Yellowstone, I would recommend getting it. Try to do the trick we're going to tell you. But if you go to hotels and ask if they have any bear spray for free.
Yeah.
Because tourists can't take it back on planes when they fly home, and they don't want to like carry it all the way home sometimes, so they leave it in their hotel rooms, and the hotels usually don't throw them away. So they have like 20 to 30 free bear sprays if you just ask.
Yeah.
So we got a bear spray for free from this outdoor guy that worked at this shop and worked at a hotel, so he went to go walk a block down and get bear spray for us.
Yeah, it was very nice.
And so we recommend doing that.
Yeah.
Trying to get it free, because you also you're reusing, you're not wasteful as buying another one and having to throw it away after.
And the chances that you're actually going to run into a bear are pretty slim.
Especially if you go late August.
So spending $70, $40 to $70 on a bear spray that you're probably not going to use.
That's only for one.
Yeah.
If you have like multiple people, if you have like 5 people in your party, you're probably going to need more than one.
Do that. Get it for free. Just go ask. It doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
So,
And most of them will say yes, because they understand.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the locals have like extras because so much tourists leave it behind.
Yeah.
So just ask around. Try to get it for free before you go in. Spend like not even an hour or two. Just go into a couple hotels or motels and ask for it, and I bet they'll have it. Especially if they're near Yellowstone.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Oh, bring food with you.
Yeah, don't buy in there.
Yeah, one hot dog was $10.
If you know anything about like tourists, like Disney World or anything like that, never buy in the park.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money.
Very expensive.
Yeah, it's very touristy in some areas, and everything's so expensive. Like even a little ice cream was like $6.
Yeah. So just pack sandwiches, bring snacks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
try to avoid spending money in the park.
Yeah. When we were at Old Faithful, a lot of people were talking about how hungry they were. Bring snacks with you. Also, bring yourself food.
Other than that, that's all of our tips for Yellowstone, and just get ready for us to talk about the Tetons, because we're actually not done that.
No,
we're going back.
But we'll talk about that in the next one.
We will.
Make sure you subscribe or follow our podcast wherever you listen to it. Rate us 5 stars if you're on Spotify. Follow all of our socials, our Instagram, our TikTok, all of the things. And we will see you next time.
Peace.